The case is over and the final arguments have been submitted. It's now up to the jury to decide whether Beachy Stout conspired in order to murder his wife Tonya McDonald. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. If it's the first time you're watching, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with our latest report. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. This is the place where we discuss issues of national importance, global importance, or the situation that are buzzing in the news. So attorneys in the Everton, Beachy, Stout, McDonald and Oscar Barnes murder trial completed giving their closing arguments in the case on Friday in the Home Circuit Court in Kingston, Jamaica, paving the way for Justice Chester Stamp to begin summation, which will start on Tuesday. The popular high-profile businessman Everton, Beachy, Stout, McDonald and Barnes are on trial for the July 20 murder of Tonya McDonald, who was the second wife of Mr. McDonald. She was killed on the main road in Sherwood Forest, Portland, receiving multiple stab wounds and her body burnt. The Toyota motor car which she was driving was also torched. Ernest Davis, the attorney who gave closing argument on the behalf of Oscar Barnes, told the seven-member jury that the main witness, Denverlin Minor, told the court many lies even about the deceased Tonya McDonald. According to Davis, his client was no way involved in the killing of Tonya McDonald and accused the lead detective in the case of fabricating the evidence against Barnes. So this is now the bombshell in the case itself, and it's up to the jury to decide whether they can believe the key witness in the case, who is Denverlin Minor. Might I remind you again though that Denverlin Minor is the lead witness for the prosecution team. So Minor admitted that he lied at least 3 times. Minor lied so many times after he gave the statement, not even the detectives could believe this case. Davis said, adding that another big problem in the case was the issue of identification. So Denverlin Minor is the man that the police or the prosecution are actually relying on for this case to be convicted. However, this individual produced so many lies during the actual court hearing, not even the persons relying on him in order to seal the case could believe what he was actually saying as he took the stand. It was also revealed earlier in the trial that Barnes was never taken on an identification parade after being arrested. The police also did not find any incriminating materials, so they searched his house and also found nothing that incriminated him in the actual killing of Miss Tonya McDonald. So with this case in limbo, many people are wondering whether or not Mr. Beachy Stout will be prosecuted in the case based on the lies that were told in court, and that the fact that they can't find any real significant evidence to tie these individuals to the actual crime. The lawyer for Oscar Barnes, Ernest Davis, reiterated that there was no physical evidence linking Barnes to the crime, stating that he was put on trial based on the testimony of a liar and based on the alleged statement the detective said Barnes gave to him, even after being cautioned that he was not obligated to give any statement without his attorney being present. So the lawyer representing Oscar Barnes, Mr. Ernest Davis, is actually stating that the police gathered substantial statements from Mr. Barnes while he was in custody without the knowledge of him or without him being present at the actual question and answer sessions. So the lawyer representing Mr. Barnes right now is contending that the police or the detectives in this case gathered or collected these statements when Mr. Barnes might have been put under significant pressure based on the severity and significant aspect of the case itself, and him not being present would have put Mr. Barnes under significant pressure in order to answer these questions based on the investigation that was being carried out by the police without him being present. When you have a case such as this that is so sensitive, similar to that of Vybz Kartel, You have to be very careful how you gather the evidence, how you store the evidence, and who comes in contact with that evidence, especially if you want to use it in a prosecution way in order for you to seal the deal in a case. So despite the detective sergeant's claim, Barnes did not sign the alleged statement, and witnesses who were present at the time did not prepare the statements in which could corroborate the claims of the lead investigator that certain utterances were actually made by Barnes while he was in the custody of the police. The lawyer representing Oscar Barnes, Mr. Davis, sought to convince the jury that Barnes had nothing to do with the murder and he was not at the scene at any point in time, which would explain why the police found nothing to tie him to the killing. Even the manner in which Minard claims Barnes killed Tonya, David said was unbelievable because it would require greater strength than Barnes possessed. Davis said it was Minard who was solely responsible for Tanya's murder, alluding to the fact that even the way he described the infliction of the wounds, it would seem like an act personally carried out by someone. So basically what the attorney is stating, based on how the crime was actually described by this key witness, it seemed as if he knew so much about the actual crime itself that he could go into some real chilling and key details as it relates to where the wounds were inflicted and also certain aspects of the case itself. The attorney made the point that on each part of her body, and that would have been Tonya McDonald, Minard said she was stabbed was confirmed by the autopsy report. Minard admitted in court that he had blood all over his shirt after the murder. His explanation for this was that he got emotional when he realized Tonya McDonald, the wife of Beachy Stout, a woman he claimed he had a sexual relationship with, was dead. He said that he cried and hugged her while she laid on the ground lifeless, and that was how his shirt got blood on it, he testified. Davis on Friday appealed to the jury to disregard that story. So Denverlin Minor, the man that is actually the key center of this case along with Beachy Stout and Oscar Barnes, was the one that the police actually used as a key witness in the case itself. This individual claims that he was actually at the scene of the murder and said that he had a sexual relationship secretly going on with Beachy Stout's wife. Minot is currently serving 19 years and 10 months prison sentence for his role in the murder after he confessed to being only the contractor in the crime. So let me elaborate some more as it relates to him being the contractor in the crime itself. So this individual was actually hired by Beachy Stout in order to take the life of Miss Tonya McDonald. Might I remind you that this individual secretly, according to him, had a personal relationship going on with Miss Tonya McDonald. So this would have been too hard for him to do based on the emotional ties that he shared with Miss Tonya McDonald. This would be something too hard for him to do. So he hired Oscar Barnes in order to carry out the gruesome and vicious act. He said Mr. Everton Beachy Stout McDonald gave him $3 million contract to kill Tonya, but he subcontracted the hitman to Barnes, who was a stranger to him. His claim is that Barnes, who murdered the woman all by himself, he took a plea deal with the prosecutors and agreed to give evidence against Mr. McDonald and Barnes. Christopher Towson, one of the 5 attorneys representing Mr. McDonald, told the jury earlier this week to consider that in just a few years, Minot will be out of prison and would be shopping with them at the mall upon his release based on the evidence he gave even after playing such a major role in the killing. So this case now is up to the jury to decide whether these individuals are guilty or they are innocent of the crime that they are on trial for committing. But when we look on the whole entire case itself and how this is playing out, it just goes to show you how life can be so unpredictable. Remember, a few years ago, Mr. McDonald would have been in a relationship with this individual, Miss Tonya McDonald. Might I remind you and jog your memory a little bit down memory lane right now? Mr. Beachy Stout had eyes on Miss Tonya McDonald for some time, from she was attending the Titchfield High School. Remember that Mr. McDonald at this point in time was actually married to his now first wife. No, Miss Tonya McDonald is actually the second wife of Mr. Beachy Stout. Beachy Stout's first wife found out about this new woman that he was actually seeing, and this caused an end to the marriage of Mr. Beachy Stout. Fast forward soon after the relationship started with Miss Tonya McDonald. Remember, at this time she was not Tonya McDonald because they were not married at this point in time. Mr. Beachy Stout's first wife was actually murdered, and now his second wife is actually murdered also. This leaves a big question. Is this a coincidence? Well, I believe I'm gonna wrap this report here for now. This has been Links 007 TV Let's Talk. Please drop it in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this story. And do you believe that Beachy Stout and his co-accused will walk free from this case? I look forward for your responses in the comment section. This has been Links 007 TV Let's Talk. Thanks for watching.